So what's going on, guys? Box here, and welcome back to some more MotoGP 21, and this is back on the preview build, and today we're going to be doing another 6-lap race, and this time we're going to be at Argentina, and we're going to be racing on the factory Yamaha of Fabio Quartararo. So hopefully we can get ourselves on the podium, if not the win. That first win on this preview build still eludes us, so we're going to be pushing hard. And for some reason, Marc Marquez starting from the back of the grid. Obviously, he's not started this season just yet, but hopefully see him back in a few races time. But anyway, here we go then, starting from P5, middle of the second row. Fabio Quartararo heading into turn number 1, trying to make up as many positions as possible. Fortunately, Jack Miller doesn't get too good of a start on that Ducati, which can just go straight to the front, but it is Morbidelli that leads from Mir. Vinales just about gets underneath of us, and you'll see in this race that, my god, we get into a bit of a fight with our teammates, so that's to look forward to, a bit of a Yamaha civil war. But of course, we got Valentino Rossi behind us on the other Yamaha, and his teammate leading the way on the satellite bike as well, so going to be an interesting race. And look at this, getting a huge run on the Suzuki as the AI really do lift at the end of this straight, but on the brakes at the end of that straight. And you know, Suzuki, the bike turns and look at him, he's sticking with us. We're just going to be fighting to keep ahead, and we need to push on to the podium, which is Vinales ahead, and Mir, and then Morbidelli. You can see we're sort of keeping up with them. Look at the front brake there from that replay camera angle, as you know, the front of the bike's just compressing as we're asking for the front brake, and we're really pinching that front brake, and you can see the bike moving around underneath of us. So very realistic from these replay cameras, you know, makes it look more like when the real life riders, they're really pushing on that front brake and the bike's all over the place. I mean, if you look at Marc Marquez when he's riding around, look at him on TV, and that's what you're seeing from his bike. So you can ride like that on this game if you like, or you can you really take it a lot more cautiously, a lot more careful, probably a bit more like, you know, Quartararo, or no, like more like a Lorenzo style rider, so like Rins with that really smooth old school style riding style. Really works for Rins. Rins has a lot of pace. And speaking of Rins, he's all over the back of us, just 3/10 back, and look at that rear end getting out of shape as we chuck it into turn number 2, round turn number 2. Maybe we can get Vinales on this straight here, round turn 3, and then picking up the bike as we're asking for the power. Pick up the slipstream, and you'll see that the AI are lifting down here, and that's how the AI slow down for the lower difficulty modes. But anyway, getting on the brakes, you can hear a pop from the exhaust there, but Vinales back through underneath of us, so not quite able to get into the podium positions now. But I have tyre wear on this race, and if you've been watching our previous videos on this preview build, I haven't really always been running tyre wear, and that's because the tyres really do seem to wear a lot quicker than they do on MotoGP 20, and I don't know if that's how the game's going to be, or whether it's a bit of a glitch in the preview mode. But we're just testing it out around here, because at this point I've got a lot more practice under my belt on MotoGP 21, and we're just sort of trying it again, and it does look like, you know, we're at the end of lap number 2, and look at the right and left side of the front and rear tyre, there's huge bits of tyre wear out of them. I mean, we have been pushing the front tyre, and through this we have got ahead of Vinales. He's going to come back at us around this final corner though, and this is what I mean, the AI fighting back. We set fast lap of the race though, 38.4, solid lap time from us on lap number 2. Can we beat that over the course of this race? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Vinales nerfing us out. I told you we get into a fight with Vinales, not messing around. We're going to come back at him though as we head into turn number 2. Oh, you can see the front tyres, when you're asking for the side of the tyre, it's just not gripping up. I mean, look at the left side getting hot as well. Brakes are doing okay, to be honest, but tyre wear, not so much. And we've got to keep an eye on the fuel, but, you know, flicking back to this replay camera, this TV angle, we're getting past Vinales, and on the brakes, looks like we're going to hold on to P3 for now, but Vinales, look, he's all over the back of us. He's going to come back, and we're going to have to watch out for that in this race. He's really going to fight back. A look at the inside. Vinales, he just managed to hold that tight line. We're out wide, and on the brakes we get back ahead of him. But, you know, under braking this Yamaha, it feels good, but the rear end is a bit slidey And, you know, the tyres wearing out pretty quick won't help with that. It's just going to, you know, make it a little bit more unrideable. But coming through this final sort of sector now, we're here at Argentina. Vinales all over the back of us. He's holding a much tighter line around these swooping corners, and it's paying off for him as, ooh, he's still with us. He really is still with us. Coming into the final corner, though, looks like we're going to gain on Mir. So, running pretty good right now. Bike's feeling good. I'm worried about the tyres, but there's not a lot we can do about that. You sort of spiral with these tyres, you know, you're trying to look after them, but then you lose grip, so you have to push to bring them back to the apex. And here you go, you can see just missing that apex around there at turn 8. But we're sticking in P3 for now, but if you look on the left hand side of the stack, Vinales very much with us, half a second back. And look at this, getting deep there. See what I mean? Look at the front tyre wear. Look at the right edge, and left edge as well of the front tyre. It's gone, and it's not even 4 complete laps. It's 3 and a bit laps right now, coming to the end of lap number 4. So I definitely think that this is going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, fixed as the final build of the game. But we'll see. But coming across the line then, we've got 2 laps to go, and we're trying to hunt down Johan Mir, and then Morbidelli. He seems pretty safe, so maybe that first win is gonna again escape us today, but we're not gonna give up. Have we seen the back of Maverick Vinales? I think we might have, and here we go on the wrong side of Mir as he's braking early into turn 2. But look at this, Mir's gonna come back at us, and he's back through. That Suzuki turns well. That Suzuki really does turn well, and he's back through. But you know, the AI, they're not so good on the straights at the end of the straights. They're good in the braking zones and good out of the corners, but along the straights, they don't carry too much speed, so we might be able to get him back. We close right up, and on the brakes, the bike's a lot more steady that time. Getting used to it, but the tyres, I can tell you, I remember at this point in the race, I was not feeling good about that front tyre, and you'll see on these final laps. I mean, look at this, Vinales closing right up, because look, again on the brakes, just sliding into the braking zones. Not going to do any good for the lap time, but at this point, you know, I'm trying to stay ahead of Vinales. I want to get a podium, but I also want to get P2. And really, I want to get the win, but it's pretty tricky to get the win. But, you know, we're only going to have one more lap. And look at the fuel. Minus 0.1 laps, so we're just about under on fuel. So I've turned the power mode down, or I have been turning it down over this last lap, and then also on the final lap I'm going to do it because I don't want to run out of fuel before the end of the race. But here we go, around the final corner. What's the gap? 6.5 tenths to Mir. I haven't improved my lap time. You can see on the right hand side we're doing 38.8, 38.7, 39.1 as the tyres really went on that lap. And this lap's not going to be much better, you know. So we'll just have to see what this lap time's like. But let's see then. Half a second back from Mir. Can we push to get him? Look at the front tyre. There's nothing on the left-hand side, nothing on the right-hand side. And, oh, you can just tell in the braking zones. We're just struggling as we're leaning on the tyres. I'm turning down the fuel mode. Look at the fuel in the bottom right. That's not good. Vinales behind. He's really slowed down. I'm really pushing at this point. I'm really risking it. I want to see if we can get Mir. I really want to get this P2. Come on. And we're just pushing. I don't think we're going to get him as we go into the final corner. And we're out of fuel. We're out of fuel. I hate to say it, but I ran out of fuel. I thought we might have saved enough fuel, but there's absolutely nothing left. And look at this, huge crash. Huge crash. So many people down. You can see on the left side with the stack. So many crashes there. But we're completely out of fuel. Well done, Quartararo. Well done. We didn't do a very good job. But in the end, Morbidelli took the win from Mir, Vinales, Rossi, Polar Spargaro, for that's your top 5. But a thoroughly enjoyable race nonetheless. A good little battle with Vinales. A shame we couldn't get Mir. But, you know, it is what it is. And unfortunately, I took the risk and didn't quite pay off because we ran out of fuel, but there you go. So if you did enjoy this video, do let me know down below in the comments. Let me know what you think of the game so far, and let me know if you'll be buying it. But for now, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you guys in the next one.